Dear friend, today we will discuss how we will deploy Spring Boot application on the AWS, and I will clear you the step by step in real world way, starting simple then scale up. Because of now, upcoming time is have the cloud server and programming. Because of the programming part, with the help of AI, we can generate the code and deploy the application in AWS. So that is the requirement monitoring and that kind of things need to be do here. So let's start with the common AWS way to deploy Spring Boot. So you can usually pick up one of these from the easiest, most production grade. So this is EC2 means that is the VM based deployment most commonly used for beginner, and Elastic Beanstalk minus EC2 and Docker plus EC2 dot EKS. These are the services of AWS we can utilize to further deploying the application on AWS. And one is serverless. This is a Lambda plus API gateway. It is advanced. Let's start with the EC2 because of it teach the fundamental concept to all of you who are beginner or who want switch from the traditional to AWS deployment process for the DevOps team or any other teams they want work with the AWS. So let's see if you have access. So just I will show you this is the AWS. So AWS, we have created this account, but it would take little bit 24 hour to activate. So I will not immediately particularly show in this. So I will explain. So I am using to EC2 and CloudWatch. CloudWatch is basically monitoring to logs of your application. So through this we can manage. And other services you want to view. So this is the lot of services is there. Which services you want to utilize in your application. This is the S3. S3 is storage and S3 glance, storage gateway, AWS backup, recycle bin, AWS Elastic disaster recovery, and Aura and RDS, Elastic Cache. So lot of services, which services you want to work. So you can focus on the particular services. So I am just focusing on the particular services of EC2, and this is the S3. So S3 basically it is a storage, but it not be because of it will little bit take time to activate. So thereafter I will show the next process. Here you can see the AWS health. This is the open issue, schedule change, whatever you are doing, and cost and usage you can see here. And getting started with the AWS training certification, whatever you do want do that, so you can go with this. And another services we have the cloud architect, the automate large scale server migration to AWS cloud using to template, and automate to VMware workload testing and migration setup to AWS cloud, and transfer S3 object to ECR image securely across the AWS environment. So all these are the services we can utilize. So now let's move on this point of EC2, how to deploy an EC2. So first we make a Spring Boot application. Suppose we have this Spring Boot application Now I want to deploy. So what we will do that first we will build, go to here, and through this you can execute the Maven, and this will build make a jar file. And once your jar file is generated, you go to browser and architect and public IP domain. This is the EC2, and means that is the login process. Go here and click in EC2, and you can create a Linux VM and Spring Boot embedded Tomcat. So if you create inside, go inside the EC2 and create Tomcat embedded EC2 Linux VM. And step one, how to, this is the architecture, how to work, browse AWS, go to public IP domain and log in and go to EC2 Linux VM and create this application Tomcat embedded. But if you have Spring Boot, because of they already have Tomcat embedded in the dependency Spring, we can say startup Spring Web. So in your project root, clean and Maven package means you can go here and Maven clean and install this command if you give. So that would work. It will start the making the build of this your Spring Boot application. And once you build, so that kind of you go inside the target, you get your jar file. So the Spring Boot already has embedded Tomcat, so no external server is needed. Simply go to AWS and click in EC2 and launch the instance and choose the AMI Amazon Linux 2 and instance type T2 micro free tier. This instance you can use and create a key pair, download POM. This POM, if you have download PEM, create pair key and go to the security group. This is the important. You can go the SSH you use to port 22 HTTP port. You can use 80 and custom TCP port. You can use 8080 and connect to EC2 and CMOD 400. Here you can pass whatever key you have generated. My key.pom you generate and enter the command and go to the SSHI and and my key PEM EC2. You give the username and public IP address and connect with that. Thereafter you can, if you connected, because of this is the external process, you can use to put T or someone so through connect the AWS server, EC2 server, and you can sudo yum update and sudo yum install Java 17 Amazon y. So this is you can use and put the command Java version. So you check Java is installed or not, which version is installed. So that thing first you process that, and thereafter upload the jar into EC2. So how to, from the local machine, SCP command you can use to SCP command -i my key.pm, this is security key use, and go to the target and this is your app, my app.jar, and connect to the EC2 user and public IP and go to the home EC2 user. Here you can load this Spring Boot based application jar and next step run the Spring Boot application So you can Java hyphen jar my app. So this would once you enter so that your jar will run and access in browser. You can use HTTP public IP address at 08, and you can you bring the Spring Boot application in live in AWS. So this is the step you can follow. Step 7, app run in background production style. So you can put this command no hub java jar my app jar greater than app.log 2 greater than and 1 and check PSEF grab Java. So through this you can check the logs by using the grab Java. So app run in background production style you can check use to this command, and based on this command you can uh, grab to the Java what happening in the AWS. Next step is it is a have optional use to port 80 instead of 808. Change the application port. You can go in server.port. This is have a property in Spring Boot. Proper application.property. You can change the port. Option to use the Nginx as a reverse proxy. Best practice Nginx yes Spring Boot 8080. Method 2, this is method 1 and method 2, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. This is very easier. Why use? Because of no manual, easy to set up, and auto scaling and health monitoring. These kind of things we can manage through this using to AWS Elastic Beanstalk services. So step 1, you have a step 1 package app, MBN package, go to Elastic Bean and create a application in platform Java and upload the jar and click the deploy and access this URL. And so this is a way how to create. You can create a application. So if you click here, so your application click, simply you deploy your jar, and then that's it only for the deployment process. And based on this, it will generate this URL, and that URL you can call and great for this quick production deployment. And method 3 used to Docker and AWS ES modern microservices. It is used for the microservices. So what flow will follow? Spring Boot and Docker image. So Docker image, basically I will show you. ECR means AWS Docker registry, and ECS container, it will create a container. And here I have a basic Docker file. You from this Docker file from 17 OpenJDK 17 JDK Slim and copy that from the target and app.jar entry point java.jar, and this you can make it this. So how to make it? You can create here in application you can create a one we can say as a Docker spring boot dot Docker file. You can create here, this is a Docker file. Suppose this Docker file is created, here you can paste this date value. For example, what kind of your file is generated. So this is basically used for microservices. deployment and DevOps heavily project. So that way we can utilize two method two if you want to go through the AWS Docker registry. Method 4 is a serverless. This is a Lambda. So here Spring Boot go to AWS Lambda and no EC2, no server management. It just push cold start issue used for the event driven API. Event driven API means once event is created, this will give response. So server, it is not a permanently run serverless server. Once event is occurred, then it will run and give the response, and again it will in ideal mode if you are follow the lambda services of AWS. So production best practice, what is this is the important in production. So first what you do that you use IAM role, don't hard code AWS key. So you key don't hard code. You use to IAM based role and store config in AWS parameters, store and secret manager. Enable to HTTPS SSL via ALB or ACM. This is have some algo based on this. You can enable this HTTPS and use RDS for DB if you want to, if you are using DB, so you can use to AWS services as a RDS. Here you can create a database and validate with user ID and password, so that services can utilize in your Spring Boot application and configure in application.properties. Enable the CloudWatch, and you need to be enable the CloudWatch for log monitoring and auto scaling. Auto scaling means the traffic spike. So auto scaling means you can see here monitor this health. This is the auto scaling. Check the API health, open issue, schedule, charge, other all kind of things you can monitor through the um, through the AWS portal. So this is a way of writing, a way of deploying to Spring Boot application through AWS. I hope you clear about this. I have just explained the process flow, how to deploy Spring Boot application inside the AWS. Thank you for watching this video, and I would request to you like and subscribe to channel